Hello. Today, actually, I will show you how we can create a repository in GitHub. Then, after that, using SourceTree, we can clone that repository into our local machines, our computer. So, first of all, we will actually go to GitHub and then create a repository. So, here I already typed GitHub, and let's search for the GitHub website. Then here I am in GitHub. I will log into my account, and I am already signed into my account. Excuse me. And when actually before signing into your account, you definitely need to create an account in GitHub, right? So you will create an account, then you will log into this account. After logging into the account, this is the console actually that you will see. So if you look here at the top right corner, I am hovering my cursor here on this side. If you click here on this drop down button, then you will see new repository. We will create a new repository. So let's click on new repository. And here, this is the owner. This is my username. So when you will create a repository from your GitHub account, your username will show up here. So this is the repository name. So we will actually use a repository name that will represent our project, right? So today I'm actually creating a tutorial, YouTube tutorial. So let's say give it a name. Uh, okay, I'm just giving it a name. Source tree tutorial. And then here description. You can put description. It's optional actually. The description actually you will describe your project, what you're doing. Then here, these are two important things: public and private. This is actually by using them, we can actually control the access that we give to others. Like it's like if we select public, then what it means, anyone actually can see our repository. And if you select private, then by default we will see our repository. But if we want anyone else to see our repository, we can also do that. So this is the basic difference between public and private. And here uh, it's actually prompting us to initialize this repository with a readme file. So if you want, you can create a readme file. If you don't want, then you don't need to create it right now, but later on if you want, you will create it. Readme file is also it will also be used to actually give a basic overview of your project to the viewers, whoever will actually see your repository. It's something like this. So when we will work, you will definitely learn about it, right? So let's click on create repository, and we will create our repository. And here, after creating the repository, we are seeing this page here. Here we can see two things: HTTPS and SSH. So actually, these are the links that we will use to clone this repository into our local machine. This is called a remote repository. Okay, this is called remote repository. If we use GitLab, then the repository that you will create in GitLab will be called a remote repository. And local means your local machine. So this SSH link, if you click on SSH, then this link, you can use either this link or this HTTPS link. So if you use SSH link, then you definitely need to create SSH key on your local machine, and then you have to upload that SSH key uh, to GitHub. Actually, you need to go to settings, and then you will have to create. I'm not going there right now, as we will actually use this HTTPS link to simplify everything for the time being. So this is our HTTPS link. Now I told you we will use SourceTree. So what is SourceTree? Where can we get it? So if we search for SourceTree here, yeah, SourceTree is already showing up here. Okay, click on source tree, and this is the website from where we can actually get source tree. Let's go inside. Okay, so now here, if you click here, download for Windows, then you can download source tree for Windows. Here also, mm, if you are using Mac operating system, then you can download it from here. So now download source tree and then install it on a local machine. So now I suppose that you have already downloaded source and installed your local machine. I mean source tree on your local machine. I'm extremely sorry for that. Now we have installed this source tree here, and then open source tree. Definitely you need to open source tree, and after opening source tree, actually here we can see some repositories, right? Here I have actually cloned them into my local machine, and these repositories are for different purposes, so we don't need to think of them. For our tutorial, for today's tutorial, we will create another repository. So here you see local and remote. This local means your local machine. This remote means we are using GitHub, so it means this GitHub repository source tree tutorial. So as we will clone our remote repository into a local machine, we have to click on local here. So now what do we want to do? We want to clone it, so click on clone, and after doing it, we will use the HTTPS link, right? So click on HTTPS, and this is the link. If you want, you can select it and then right click and then copy it, or also if you want to do it in an easier way, then just click on it here. Click on it and it will be actually copied to your clipboard. Now go to source tree. Okay, we are in source tree, and here in the source path URL, this is the actually URL of our remote repository. So we just copy the HTTPS link, right? So paste it here, and after pasting it here, click here outside somewhere, and if you click here, then it is yeah, it the source tree actually started checking whether the type of this repository, and it found out that this is the Git repository, and definitely it's the Git repository, right? Now we can see a link here. What is this link? By default, actually, after working with source tree, every time I cloned a repository in the local machine, I actually saw that it's actually being cloned into the documents folder. You know what document folder is? If you go here, the document folder is here, right? Document directory. But we don't want to actually clone the repository into a document directory, right? I mean, if you want, you can do it. If you want, you can do it. You can clone it anywhere in your computer. So I want to clone it into desktop, but I don't want to use this whole desktop directory for that purpose, right? What I will do, I will create another folder here, and which name I can give it to it. Okay, let's give it a name. uh, I'm just giving it a name source tree. Okay, I'm just giving it a name source tree, but don't worry about this name right now. When you will work on any real project, then use a good name, representative name. Okay, so source tree, now go inside source tree, and then after going inside source tree, if you click here, we will actually copy the link and then copy this path and then go to source tree again, and here select it, and I am actually, and then remove it. I'm hitting the backspace key of my keyboard, and after that I'm pasting the path of the newly created folder that is on our desktop. So this is the path to that folder, right? So in that folder, I want to create another folder using this name, right? So, I mean, suppose we are working with multiple Git repositories, right, for a single project. So we will create a single folder, and then in that single folder we will actually clone multiple repositories, right? So for that reason, what I will do, in the source tree folder I will create another folder using this name, source tree tutorial. So I am hitting the backslash key from my uh, I mean, what what is this called, from a keyboard. Then I will copy this name from here, copy it and paste it here. Okay. Now, as soon as I pasted it here, this name is showing up here. So this will be actually the name now of the repository in our local machine. Now, make sure it's root. You don't need to select anything else. And in advanced options, we don't need to do anything for the time being. Just click on clone now. But before clicking on clone, I want to show you one more thing. Actually. Go to that folder, source tree that we just created here. Right now, you can see we don't have anything here, right? We don't have any file here. Even if you go click on view, then go to options. After that, click on view, and then select show hidden files, and click on apply. You still don't see anything, right? That means it's completely empty. Also, if you go to our remote repository, this repository is also completely empty. We don't have any files here. So now go to source tree and then clone it. Clone our remote repository into our local machine. Hit clone. It's being cloned right now. Okay. Now I think it's done. So how we will know? Here on the left side we can see remote. Click here and then we can see origin, right? Okay, but before that, that's not everything actually. Let's go to our local repository. Okay, let's just close them. I'm closing it. Okay. Okay, source. Yeah, we are in the. If I go to desktop, then we created this folder source tree, and in the source tree folder, I just created source tree tutorial and then cloned our remote repository, right? But as our remote repository is empty, this folder is also empty. But what is this .git folder? This .git folder actually is an hidden file. It's an hidden folder. So it means that here in this folder we have actually initialized a Git repository. Okay, so we actually don't need to make it visible. We have to make it hidden. This is a hidden file. Okay, so I'm actually selecting again don't show hidden files. Okay, now see we don't have anything here because our remote repository is completely empty. So we already cloned our remote repository. Now what is the purpose of doing it? The purpose is we have codes, we are writing codes, then actually we want to upload our codes to our GitHub repository, right? So I have some codes, I will use some other codes. Suppose you have already written some codes, okay, they are somewhere else, and then you want to upload those codes to your GitHub repository. So how you will do it? I have some codes here. Let's go to programming then. Here, then Spring Boot, REST service. Okay, this is the simplest code actually. Okay, I will copy this folder. Suppose this is my code. Okay, I will copy this folder. I will go to desktop. I will go to source tree. Then source tree tutorial. This is where a Git repository has been initialized. So I will paste that. Okay, but before pasting that, those files here, I'm in source tree, and in source tree, if you click on history, you don't see anything here. If you click on file status, you don't see any file status here. If you click on search, actually, yeah, as you don't have anything, so why do you need to search actually? You have nothing here, right? So suppose let's just minimize this folder, and I've also minimized it. I mean, this source tree. So let's paste those files here. Yeah, I'm pasting them here, and as they are being pasted here, what changes can we see here? See here, yeah, we can see the changes, the real-time changes right here on source tree, right? So we just move some files to this local repository, and we can see them in the here. If we click on history, history means history, right? You know that, you know what it means. So here, if we click on history, and after clicking on history here at the bottom, we can see unstaged files. So here some terms are very important to understand. Unstaged files, then staged files. After that, commit, push. We just pulled our remote repository into our local machine, so you know what pull is. So the first stage after making any change to the files that are in our local repository, they will show up in this box under unstaged files. We just moved some new files to our local repository. That's why those files are showing up here, right? Moving those files to our local repository, that's also a change. So our purpose is to actually okay, yeah, our purpose is to actually upload these files to our remote repository. So I just made a mistake, but even though I actually should have done one more thing before moving the files into a local repository. But still, let's try. Let's try to actually uh, push our. Okay, we have when we initialized a Git repository into a local machine, we should have a master branch there, right? So if I click on push, then should we be able? Okay, we don't see anything here, right? Yeah, got it. We don't see anything here. Okay, so these are the unstaged files. Now the next step is to stage these files. Okay, so let's just click on stage. If you want to stage any specific file, then you can also do it, maybe just by clicking on it. Yeah, okay, click here and this specific file will be staged here. Okay, but I want to stage all of them, so let's just click stage all, and all of these files have been staged. So they just have been staged, right? They have not been committed. If we click on push, we cannot actually push. Now as these files have been staged, if we click on commit, then we can actually commit those files. So the commit step will be performed after staging those files. The first stage, unstaged files, then we have to stage them. After that, we have to commit them. So for committing the changes, we have to actually here in this box, we have to write a commit message. So what is this that commit message? That message actually, it's like we will actually in a single sentence we will sing it. It might be a single sentence, it might be two sentences, but it's better to shorten it. So we will actually put here, put a message here about the changes. Okay, we'll actually put a message that will represent the changes, what changes we made. For the time being, I will actually say, okay, uploading initial files for the project. After writing the commit message, let's click on commit. But if you tick push changes immediately, then actually you will be able to push these changes directly to your remote repository. But we will actually commit them first. So let's hit commit. Okay, now we committed those changes. And when we committed those changes, we can here see a master branch, something like called master. So this is actually the master branch. So here in this part, we can see all the branches of our local repository. And let's go to SourceTree again. And here in this remote part, we can see all the branches of our remote repository. In our remote repository, we don't have any branch type, right? So this is our master branch. We actually want to push this master branch to our remote repository first. So as we committed the changes, we will hit push and then try to push them to our master branch. So let's click on master, and then this is here we can see push to repository. I mean, which repository? This is the actually the URL of our repository, right? Source tree tutorial. And then here we see branches to push. I mean, which branches we want to push actually. So right now in our local machine, we have only one branch, master, and remote branch. I mean, the remote branch where we want to push our master branch. So we don't have any branch in our remote repository, but from here we can actually create that branch. Okay, even though we don't have any branch in our remote repository, we still can create the branch from here. We are saying we will push the local master branch into the remote master branch. So right now, if I hit push, then our master branch will be created in our remote repository, and then let's see what happens. So now hit push. So this is going on right now. Okay, now that it's done, here if you see here, you can actually click here right now. Okay, before pushing the changes, you could not click here. I mean, there you could only see origin, but right now you can see something like that will actually show us some drop down menus. Okay, so click on here and we can see masters. I just pushed the local master branch to the remote master branch. So how will we check it in our remote repository? We are in this repository source tutorial. If we reload it, uh, now we can see here the branch is master and the files that were here. Hello world. These are the files. Okay. Now we have this master branch here, and this is the first branch that we created in our remote repository, and it will work as the default branch. It will work as the default branch. So when we will work in a project, we will actually have multiple branches, right? Not only the master branch, we will have some other branches. Suppose I'm Fakul, I will create a branch in my own name and I will push my codes to that branch. Suppose, okay, suppose Tom will create a branch in his own name, and then he will push the code in his own branch. And then after that, we will have to definitely create merge request. So our team lead will check our codes, and then checking our codes, if he thinks everything's okay, then he will actually merge our codes into another branch that is actually controlled by him. So it's something like this. So as I have created a master branch, I will now show you how to create more branches. Like suppose I want to create a branch in my own name. There I will push all the codes. So how can we do it? Before that, can we do one thing? Let's do one thing. Let's go to our local branch here. Okay, we are here. Then if we delete all of these files from here, what will happen? I deleted all of these files, right? We don't have anything right here right now. Let's now go to source tree. If I go to source tree, and I can see the changes here, uncommitted changes. So what are the uncommitted changes? We can see here, these are the uncommitted changes. As we deleted the files, so it's showing up like this here. So we have to stage the changes, and now we staged the changes, and now we'll have to again commit. So in the commit message, as we deleted the files, so in the commit message we'll say deleted the initial files from master branch. Now let's commit. As I told you, if you select push changes immediately to origin master, origin means this origin, the remote repository. You can do it, just tick it and then commit. So we don't have to hit push here again. So now let's do it, and we will see what happens this time. Okay, if you see, go to history here. Yeah, we can see the history, right? The first commit that I made, it was uploading initial files for the project. The second one is deleted the initial files from master branch. If you go to this master, okay, what it says, okay, not from here, we will actually go to GitHub. Okay, we are in GitHub, and then if you reload this page, then we will see we still have the master branch, but we don't have the files, right? Because we actually deleted the files from our master branch. And here we can see two commits. If you click here, then we can see those commits from here actually. The first commit was uploading initial files. The second commit is deleted the initial files. Okay, so now let's go to source tree again. So we got only one branch here, master, and we were talking about more branches. So here we will create another branch in my name. So we are in our local branch, local repository right now, and if we click on branch, then if I put a name here, hopeful, then click create branch, then we can see one more branch named hopeful has been created here. But in our remote repository, we still don't have that branch because we didn't push this branch to our remote repository. So now what I will do, I will actually copy those codes again, that folder. again to my local repository, and then push that changes, those changes to the remote repository, but we will create another branch named Purple in the remote repository at the same time. So how will we do it? Okay, let's just copy it. And after doing it, if I go to source tutorial, I will okay paste it here. Okay, now we tested them here. We can see the changes here. Okay, we can see here uncommitted changes. We still did not commit them, right? So we are in the branch forkful, local branch forkful. We will stage the changes, and after staging the changes, we will commit, and in commit we will actually write a commit message. So what will be the message? Uploading initial files to branch forkful. So let us just push the changes immediately. Because we cannot here actually push the changes immediately to a remote branch named Fokul, right? Because we still don't have any branch named Fokul here in the remote repository, so we cannot do it right now. We have to commit first. Now we committed, then we have to push. So when we will hit push, here actually we can see two options here. This is the local master branch, this is the local Fokul branch. So our purpose is to push the local branch forkful, right? And in the remote repository, we still don't have this branch forkful. But as we know, even if we don't have any branch named forkful in the remote repository, we can create it. So we will create a branch named forkful in the remote repository and push our push the changes of our local branch forkful into that remote branch. So this time we are not selecting master, we are just selecting forkful. And now click on push. And here we will see what changes are made. We will see forkful here. Okay, there you go. Now we can see forkful here. And if we go to GitHub, if we reload this page again, okay. Now we can see here you recently pushed branches forkful. What is the branch name? Forkful. And here if we click, then we can see master. It is the default branch and the newly created branch forkful. So right now we are in the master branch and we know our master branch is empty. We don't have anything. But if we go to the branch forkful, then we can see those files there, right? So here are the files. So it's something like this. Now we did that. If you want, okay. Now let's do one more thing. Let's go to IntelliJ, and from IntelliJ we will actually open that folder. Click on file, then open, and that folder is in desktop. So click here. We'll go to desktop, and in desktop, the directory name is SourceTree, right? And it was SourceTree tutorial hello world. The project name is hello world. So clicking on hello world, and then click on okay. And we are open. If you want, you can open it in this window. If you want, you can open it in a new window. I'm just opening it in a new window. So that project is being opened in a new window. Let's maximize it. Okay, it says import changes. Yeah, it's a Maven project, right? So I mean, yeah, the changes needs to be imported, right, from the Maven repository. So I'm just hitting import changes, and it's going to take a few seconds to import the changes. And in the meantime, click here and let's go to source tree, go to main, Java here, and here we can see hello world application. We have only one file, right? If we go to our uh, git I mean GitHub repository, if we are in Fokul branch Fokul, right? So if we go here, if we go inside this project, go to source, then go to main, then go here, click here. After that we can see only one file, hello world application. Now we are here in IntelliJ. Now here we will actually create one more file. So to create the file, we will create one more package. So let's give it a name. Okay, whatever. I'm just giving it a name, source tree. Don't worry about it for the time being. And hit OK. And in that package, I will create a new file. So source demo. Just I'm just creating a new file name. Source demo. Okay. So what is this doing? It's actually saying, as we are now in a repository, local repository, right? I actually opened this project from a local repository. So it's actually saying me, telling me, do you want to add the following file to Git? If you want, you can click here and you can directly add it to Git right now. I mean, Git means it's not going to be, this change is not going to be pushed to our remote repository, but it will be actually, it will show up here. Actually, we don't want to do that right now. Okay, it's here, it's in unstaged files. But if we select add, then I think it will go to the staged position. So we don't want to do it here right now. We'll do it later. So just mm, okay, write something else, like if I make a comment, line comments created for the purpose of YouTube tutorial. And then change them. I mean, save them, save the files. Now, if you go to source tree, excuse me, I'm sorry. Now we are in source tree, and we will actually do everything in our branch named Fokul, right? So you definitely need to check out to Fokul. You have to make sure that you are in Fokul. And here we have the file that we just created here, this source demo.java. So we will actually stage it. So let's click on stage all. And after that, we will commit. So click on commit and just select it also. So if I will, in the commit message, I will put adding a new Java. I mean, adding a new file. Just right, adding a new file, and I'll commit it. And at the same time, as I selected it, as I ticked it, so it will be the changes will be pushed immediately to origin Fokul. When you will select it, make sure that it's the exact same uh, I mean branch, remote branch where you want to push your changes. So now commit it, and it's being committed and pushed to the branch Fokul of our remote repository. Okay, now it's done. If I go to history, and we can see all the history here. Go to source tree, and if I go to this IntelliJ IDE, we will see that this new file was created in here, right? com.folklore.hello world. Here we created a new package, and then inside that package we created this file, right? So if I go to source tree, and we are in com folklore hello world. If I reload this page, then we can see that new package source tree. If I go inside it, then we will see this file here. If I open this file, then yeah, we can see whatever we did on IntelliJ, right? So this is how you can actually uh, write codes. You can make changes, and then you will actually uh, mm, push commit those changes and push them to your remote repository. So we are almost done, but before finishing this class, actually, let's go to source tree again, and let me show you something. We are in history. So this is the history, right? This is the, here we can see time exactly when we made those changes, and whoever did those made those changes. If it's a big project, then maybe someone else made some changes to some other branches, and you pull that branches also to your local repository, so you will see them here also. You will see their name also here. Okay, so I am here. I am seeing this, the last uh, change that I made. I added a new file, and here, if we go here, then we can see the commit number, then the author who did it, the email address also. After that, the time committed, that means the username, and what is the commit message, adding new file. And if, and on the right side, we can actually see the file, exactly what is the file, and we can see the changes, what changes are made in that file. We can see it here. So, and if we go to our remote repository here, then click on source tree. Now we are in master branch. If I click on folklore, then I can go to the branch folklore. Okay. So when we, after creating this repository, the page looked different, right? The first time when we created the repository and copied the HTTPS link, it was like different thing, right? So suppose someone else started the project. He uploaded some files to this repository, and right now in the middle of the project, you are actually told to start working and then pull this project to your local repository. So how you will do it? We are in this repository right now. We are in the master branch. So we want to do it from our master branch. So here you can see clone or download. So if you click here, then actually you will see those links here. Clone with HTTPS. If you want to use the SSH link, then click on SSH, then clone with SSH link. So this is something like this. So that's all actually about it. This is if you watch this video, then I think you can start working. And if you want to learn more, then definitely you can. There are hundreds of tutorials on YouTube about it if you want to have in-depth knowledge. So good luck. Thank you so much, and happy study. Thank you. Bye.